This is what I have so far of my script for the voice thread for this semester's second Talk Abroad conversation. I had Dad time me while I read it out loud, and it only ended up being about a minute and a half, roughly half the minimum length, which surprised me. Even though, honestly, at this point, it seems I can't really think of anything more. When Dad brought this in, he ended up jump scaring me because I was essentially focused on two things. Listening to Everywhere at the End of Time, I started doing so periodically from the very beginning, pretty much as soon as I got up, which was pretty early in the morning, I would say. Maybe around 3:30 in the morning, or maybe 1 in the morning, I would say. These are level 1 day farms, and this is a level 2 day farm. And the thing is, I pretty much broke the bank trying to rearrange the ferry settlement so I could more efficiently fit in more day farm and night farms, while still leaving enough space to eventually get this ferry portal site to the maximum of level 4. No building for the daily exclusive. Yeah, I actually had to wait to ultimately receive this task set. Though I'm already at work, only about 2 hours left for the scout, though by that point I'll probably be asleep. I was feeling tired. I had hopes of finishing this today, but I guess I'm going to have to postpone that because I have the more important task of doing my week 9 assignment for my African politics class. Of which I wrote this while being pretty tired. Which, in a way, probably isn't a good idea. Though, I'm just trying to do my best with the time I currently have. I have to have the week 6 assignment in by (6 p.m.) or else the Dropbox will close. Dad's been giving me coffee. And the purpose of that, in a sense, was ultimately to keep me awake long enough to do this, my dinner. After this, I'll probably almost certainly go to bed, and then see if I end up sleeping through the entirety of Everywhere at the End of Time, essentially listening to it while I sleep, and to see if any part of it manages to wake me up. Though, I'm pretty sure if the helium double hockey stick sirens don't do it, then nothing in the entire album will. Unless the very end does so. Yeah, because by that point, I will have gotten roughly 6.5 hours of sleep. I had a pretty productive morning. I managed to find a nail clipper within my own dorm room, and I clipped my own fingernails. Much earlier, I accidentally dropped this phone. And kind of chipped one of my own toenails. Yes?
You want more hot sauce?
Sure, and
You like it?
I'd like some more corn, please.
Yeah, I got more corn. Once you're done. Oh, you got a lot.
A lot of hot sauce left?
I'll just give you a little. There you go. How is it?
Really great. Thanks for the coffee. I took my iron supplement, brushed my teeth, and took a shower. I'm all caught up on my dinner uploads. Much later, I backed up my Camtasia project for the 99 Dan Hamming episode, for which I did some work on it, essentially confirming my selection of this track for that scene music. Beyond retired the grid view, so that's going to take a bit of an adjustment if I haven't already made it. But I got to put all the raw videos that are part of the Camtasia DH99 project into a folder within list view entitled DH99. At some point, at around 8, I would say 8 in the morning, I walked to the tower building to work on painting my ceramic shoe, during which I experimented to create a shade of orange that would be pretty close to the actual color of the inside of that dress shoe. If I recall, to create the orange, I mixed some red with yellow, then I added some black, then I added yellow twice to create the exact hue that I wanted. This gives an idea of how I figured out. This is how much I cut off from the beginning of this track to continue it off in part 5. These are the notes that I took during Spanish class today. I tried to get bubble tea on 2 different occasions. Seemed to be unusually hot today for early April. I'm currently crafting this. It seemed to be the best thing I could craft to try to ultimately do that gain 20 vision vapor task of the task set. The other half of that task set will be easily taken care of with some time. I had no idea that the flower lanes could ultimately be so expensive. They had a 10% off sale for the premium expansions, so I went and got my second one total to ultimately make room for the Dwarven Bulwark in the near future, of which I'm currently here in my progress for it. And this is where I'm at currently for the mountain halls. Although that one will be a whole nother can of worms, so to speak. You know, the end of stage 4, the end of the last track, and everywhere at the end of time was actually kind of peaceful to me. And I also like stage 5. Although I also like stages 1, 2, and 3. I both made a new styrofoam today and brought home a bunch of styrofoams from my dorm room. Via that plastic bag, as many as I felt I could fit in one plastic bag. Come to my dad's apartment unit as part of a new effort to gradually clear the stuff out of my dorm room. In preparation for at least summer vacation.
You want more corn and chicken
Yes, please.
and hot sauce?
Yep.
What's with the chicken? You don't like that, or
No, I was just gonna. I like the chicken. I was just gonna wait for you
Okay.
to let you put more on.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, I like a lot of the tracks of Everywhere at the End of Time. Though all of these are from stages 1, 2, and 3. I didn't really consider anything from stage 4 or 5 or 6 because those stages 4 and 5 are generally bits of random noise, although it's bits of random noise that sounds pretty good, especially at other times over others. I like the temporary bliss state in stage 4. I also like the helium double hockey stick sirens in stage 4. I like the moments of clarity in stage 5. But I also like that part. Honestly, it seems I'm not currently at the point where I can whistle what I mean, but in my efforts to try to describe it, some kind of whistling that oddly enough reminds me of a bird, I think, in a sort of weird way. Or maybe some kind of flute, maybe would be more accurate. Yeah, either way. I captured any text in these side missions that seemed to show bad blood between the dwarves and the fairies. Though I prefer the fairies over the dwarves simply because the fairy settlement seems to be more in sync with the ideals of an elven city. I ultimately picked elven in this game because they're more nature-oriented.
That's all the corn and all the chicken.
All right.
There you go.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. And here, well, let me put it. Move that bottle.
Okay. Thanks.
There's your fork. All right, buddy.
I love you, Dad.
Love you too. And then we'll have ice cream in half an hour.
Oh, okay. In the meantime, I'll keep working on that week 9 assignment. That hot sauce helped to wake me up a bit. Or maybe it has something to do with all that coffee at last kicking in. At lunchtime, around 1-ish, I would say, when they didn't have bubble tea, I ended up getting my usual 2 Rockstar X-Durance energy drinks. 1 cotton candy flavored and 1, I think, Kiwi strawberry flavored. I tend to do that a lot because I think I like variety, but there's really not that much variety. I can't help but wonder if there's some way for me to ultimately fit 4 night farms in this. If I just do some maneuvering around with everything in a sort of way. I'm just concerned that as I upgrade the day farms, they'll somehow be less connected to nature. I'll see less sunflowers and other plants somehow. Though I am now seeing plenty of trees. When I first saw this quest, I think before my own Spanish class today, which started at 11, I was thinking how odd it was how the fairies could say that we've lost touch with nature as elves. Well, though, maybe that's true to a point. I mean, all this was immediately precedented by building a considerable dwarf settlement. About 2 hours later, wait, not 2 hours later, more like 3.5 hours later. I recall going around 4:30 or so, maybe 5:30, because I knew Dad was supposed to be getting me relatively early. So I went much earlier than I usually go for dinner. But I didn't really actually eat any of that dinner, for the most part. I just had the 2 things of milk I got. I tried my gallon of milk today. It passed the smell test for the most part. It passed the sight test, in which you check to see if it's a pure liquid. You look at the liquid, check for any signs of curdling in the liquid, which is when there's bits of solidness as you pour it. I didn't really see it, but I saw some solid bits as I first unscrewed the lid to it. But when I did the taste test, it tasted bad. I would say it was moderately bad. It didn't make me gag, but it wasn't that mildly bad where you can soldier through it for the purpose of not wasting food, not wasting something. I'll have to be more diligent in the future. But that also happened to my leftovers from when I got chicken and biscuits. Mostly to the chicken and biscuits and a piece of pork loin. I believe it got freezer burnt because I put that tray in the top section of the mini fridge where it's coldest, but honestly, I don't believe I had any other choice. At the time, it was occupied by another tray of leftovers that I managed to finish, and that gallon container of milk. Corn soup. Yeah, I did considerable work on the 99 Dan Hamming, though I think I'm currently at a point where it's mostly polishing. Which means editing in Camtasia to ultimately see where I should go next with the episode. How do I develop this scene that comes right before the hospital scene? I at some point edited a leg prop to remove the shoe, and as part of that polishing effort, and I did that through the third-party website Lunapic, which I use almost exclusively whenever I need to make custom props. I listened to about a third of that Spanish Talk Abroad conversation, the second one, and honestly, I feel like I've already managed to capture the gist in this here script, but I'll see what I can do. Most likely, it would be best if I resumed work on Saturday, as I got a lot due by Friday. A relatively minor assignment, I would say a moderate assignment, and then I think probably another moderate assignment, but it's a little bigger. And the little bigger one is for my national security class, and the moderate assignment is for my African politics class. And it was that assignment for which I've been working on. Those are some good spices. Vanilla ice cream with hot fudge. A pretty good combo.
So how's the ice cream, Ty?
Delicious.
Hot fudge?
Yeah, it's good.
Well, there's more for tomorrow. Maybe we'll get that Chinese, Americanized Chinese tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I mean, but Grandma did make spaghetti. So we can have that.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Spaghetti and Italian sausage.
Yeah. The Nest also didn't have bubble tea when I made a stop there after I got that food for you, those 2 double cheeseburgers and other stuff.
Well, that you can eat that tomorrow, Ty.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything for you for lunch. But you can eat that. If you want to save me a hamburger, then save me a hamburger.
All right.
All right, but you got rice, you got, I see spare ribs or ribs and stuff like that. So, all right, so everything good?
Yeah, that's the stuff I got.
All right, buddy.
Love you.
Everything's good, huh?
Yeah.
All right, good. Don't make a mess on my, oh, here's your, all right, we can't forget this, Todd. Your ID.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy the new styrofoams I brought home for you.
You know what? I really like this one. That one's good. You got the camouflage, the helmet, or the hat, the glasses. I like that one.
I have years of experience. It only comes naturally. I mean,
You know what, Ty? You got to do me.
Okay.
It's got to be the best one you've ever done.
I'll certainly try my best, but first I have school assignments that I need to work on when I wake back up again.
Yeah, and then I'll give you the picture that maybe it's the one when the graduation pictures.
All right.
All right, minus the hats.
Mm-hmm.
All right, buddy. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Love ya.
Love you too. Yeah, when they didn't have bubble tea the second time, I ended up getting a For Real Chips Ahoy milkshake, but I got it extra thick. It was essentially an attempt to make it kind of like this. Though I think it was as melted as equivalent to a regular by the time I got to my dorm room, as it was, around in the 70s that day, pretty much. At least that was the temperature. And by the time I got into Dad's car at around 6:30, I would say 6:30 p.m. Yeah, I was sweating pretty good at that time. And this is for a happy Easter. When Dad threw it from the door, I think I just barely failed to catch it. It kind of went through my hands. It's pretty hard, but the first thing that came to mind was salted caramel. And here's where I'm at currently in regards to the research tree.